Hey, yo, good morning. And I am having a great morning. I had it great yesterday. This is the first morning since I quit smoking that I haven't woken up craving a cigarette, and I wasn't craving sugar either. So, quick little update. I am having so much fun on my Paralette bars. These are so cool. You get to really play on them, and you get to at the same time, it's like being a kid again on a playground, but you're actually getting fit, just like kids on a playground. So I like exercises that mimic that as much as possible. Anyway, so quick reminder that this was originally supposed to be like a diet and fitness channel, but I did mention that I was going to include quitting cigarettes, quitting things on the way. But the original plan is just general self-improvement, diet, fitness, all that cool stuff. So yesterday was kind of a big day for parasympathetic breathing. That's my main method for quick anxiety calming when it comes to anything. And basically my method was to apply that it's possible that a lot of things were just anxiety related, and some quick parasympathetic breathing and some mantras might help you get through those hard times. And they do for me. So I was working yesterday on kind of a new method for me. I don't really believe I'm making any of this up myself, but new method for me was I wanted to eat one of my little lentil turkey rolls instead of pizza was the other option. And I was just choosing, this much better food while I'm trying to be in a cut. And honestly, it's starting to work. Um, so I ate my turkey roll, and it was a tasty turkey roll. There's nothing wrong with the turkey roll. It just wasn't pizza. And, you know, and I decided to add a parasympathetic breath rotation with it. Quick reminder, if you haven't been watching, parasympathetic breath is just a breath in. We use 4 counts as an example. Pause at the top, we use 2 counts as an example. And a longer breath out, we use 6 counts as an example. And a pause at the bottom of 2 counts. Now I add a mantra to that, a 2-part mantra that's really important for helping. And so this time I added on the in breath, I said fuel in, and on the out breath, I said future me. And that was just a reminder, because my mantras, I like to keep them really short, but I like them to trigger like a much deeper thought within myself. So I usually have kind of like a philosophical kind of like moment with myself while I create them. So I was just reminding myself that future me would be fueling herself that way. And if I want to turn into the future me that I want to be, then I need to be fueling like future me would, and that's like a really kind of like a kind of conversation. But if I just say, future me, fuel me, and that's or fuel me, future me, any kind of thing like that, to just kind of trigger that kind of feeling that actually I am once again getting what I want. And not only, I'm trying to kind of change my reward trigger system from these artificial joys to real pleasures, and it's working again. So I really think it's really important. I also was adding, just anything that I do that's good, just to add little mantras and even a parasympathetic breathing, even if you don't feel anxiety, to remind yourself that future you showed up that moment and that you're proud of yourself. And I think that that's kind of like another way to just kind of naturally rewire your reward system so that you're actually happy when you do good things for yourself. You train your neurology to feel good about being healthy so that it's not actually a struggle, because you're still going to be doing the same things. You're just going to be feeling differently about doing those things, right? Instead of feeling like, oh, I have to eat right, and oh, I have to be working out, like, no, you get to, because you're going to show up healthy and ready to go, because you showed up for yourself all these little times in between, because you really do want to, take care of your body, because you want to live longer, because you want to be more productive in your life, all of these things. So that was basically my note for today, sort of a shorter recap. The recaps kind of get shorter and shorter as I have fewer things to say. I'm not trying to honestly make any money. All of these products I show you, I don't get endorsed by any companies, at least as of now. I have barely any followers. This is sort of just tracking for my own self, for people that I know, and anybody who asks how I did this later, I can just kind of send them back to the journal and be like, you can watch the whole boring process yourself. On a side note, yesterday's turmeric ginger drink, I didn't realize how powerful that medicine was going to be. I forgot to add that I added a little bit of black pepper to it, and then of course stevia, so it was sweet and tasty. But I went for my little 15-minute jog, and that was so good for my post-smoker lungs. As it turns out, both ginger and turmeric will loosen up not only the mucus inside of the lungs, but it actually starts like opening up those capillaries and like making it more space. So like the whole time, like mucus was just like, I was like coughing and it was coming up. My lungs feel so much clearer today. But I also need to add a quick little side note, just because ginger and turmeric both have extremely high acid content. Now, my stomach issue where it bleeds, it's not ulcers, so I can still eat incredibly spicy food and incredibly sour food without triggering these kinds of events, but even I don't want to push it. So this the ginger turmeric drink, while it is fantastic and very helpful if you're trying to quit smoking, it can cause things like heartburn and issues with your stomach lining being irritated because of how heavy it is. So you want to treat this drink like a medicine, and I personally won't be having more than 2 per week. So anyhow, I hope your goals are going great. Remember, if you backtrack, just go ahead and restart again. I've had to do this a couple times. I sure hope this is the last time. You know, I think that whole idea that they tried to say in the 90s about yo-yo dieting was really toxic. Weren't those people all just trying to sell the last weight loss plan you ever need, you know? Like, I thought my metabolism was broken though, guys. How come it suddenly is gonna work if I do what you say? Maybe it's just, I know it's good to maintain health. I know it's not as healthy to gain weight, but you don't lose your ability to get healthy just because you fall off the horse. Get back up on it as many times as necessary. Cheers to that, guys.